Welcome to game one of the OTA playoffs. Sharks versus Titans. Game number one. Slump being the first player out. These two teams desperate to make it to the next round. Looking to fight for a championship. Yuri Lover, next player out. DT going up against Ferocious. Ferocious being a pivotal player this season for the Sharks. Takes out DT, who had to then sack Tree Droid. Therefore, DT lives to see at least another 10 seconds. Ferocious to Shaft, and Shaft is out. Ferocious to Ryan. Ryan aiming for Ferocious and tracks him down. Ryan to Chris. Chris back to Ryan. Ryan, can he give it to Fantana? Yes, he does. Fantana needs to give it back, and he's successful in doing so. The Sharks have numbers. It is the Sharks versus DT. Real Gamer, the World Cup champion, number 2 ranked worldwide, takes out DT. The Sharks will take the first point. Fantana to DT. Fantana. Can he pass to anyone? And he gives it to DT, who then gave it to Chris. Sacked his own teammate. Now he got Slump to Ryan. Slump needs to pass it back to someone, and he takes out Ryan without any hesitation. Now you have Slump. The bomb has a mid bomb, has a high 3, and is passed back. Mistimed his tracking. Now you got Shaft going up against Fantana. Fantana needs to track it down to Shaft, and Shaft is out of this game. Fantana to Tree Droid. Fantana back to Tree. And Tree Droid gave it to Ferocious, who then took out Fantana. What a chain by the Sharks. The Sharks are hungry, and they're looking to sweep the Titans. And DT is taken out, and that is another win for the Sharks. Philip has been issued a leg warning in round number 2. Not looking good for him. Slump to Yuri. Slump needs to trust Chris. Chris to Yuri. And Yuri is out of this match. Or out of this game, actually. Now, Slump to Shaft. Slump with the bomb. Can he track it? No, he can't. He's out. He's done. He's out of the round. Blue Clouds from Fantana. Maybe not. Fantana lacked. Tried to get a Chris going. Sorry, tried to get a chain going via Chris. Would have been an incredibly smart play, but simply unsuccessful in doing so. Tree Droid to Ferocious. Ferocious is out of here. Now you have DT to Fantana. DT needs to pass it back. Fantana to DT. DT has timing and takes out Fantana. Now it's the Titans looking to strike back. They want to take out the Sharks, and they are ready to send the Sharks to a whole other planet. Get it? It's a different name, because, you know, we're a planetary team. Now you got Real Gamer, the World Cup champion. Outruns, out-hustles. Can the World Cup champion do it? Can he clutch up round number 3? Can he clutch up the 3-on-1? Real Gamer to Shaft. Shaft has timing. Real Gamer gives up, and the Titans will take the first win. Slump to DT. Slump needs to give it back to DT. Sacked his own teammates in Yuri. The Titans seem to have a reputation for just sacking when things don't go their way. However, sacking still means that you're taking out one of your own team members. Therefore, you're likely to lose. Shaft to Ferocious. Ferocious back to Shaft. And Shaft ends up sacking his own teammate too. The sacking strategy is not going to work. Start taking out the opposition team. Fantana to Chris, who was unable to pass to DT. Tried to get a chain going, but that is the second time that that duo tried to get a chain going and were unsuccessful in doing so. Treedroid is out, and now it is a 2-on-2. It's anyone's round now. DT to Fantana. Fantana with timing. DT with timing now. Tracks it to Fantana instantaneously. DT is looking to strike blood. Real Gamer, 2-on-1 once again. Going to try to outrun Shaft. Successful in doing so. Now a 1-on-1. Real Gamer needs to give it to DT. Can he give it through the wall? Passes it over, and DT is tracked. We are tied. 2-2. Early in set number 1. The bomb is with Ryan, who needs to give it to someone. Tried to give it to Slump, but his own teammate got chained instead. Positioned himself perfectly. Titans need better coordination on those plays. You got Yuri to Slump. Slump tracks it back to his own teammate. Sorry, Slump didn't track it back. He did track it back to the Titans. I guess it was his unsuccessful sandwich or unsuccessful chain by the Titans. Real Gamer to Slump. Shaft to Slump. And we have the 1-on-1 matchup set. Perfect timing on Shaft. Shaft trying to sack his own teammate. However, he was unsuccessful in doing so. You have Ryan. Can he give it to Chris? No. The Sharks easily win round number 5. The bomb starts off of Shaft to Slump. Shaft to Slump. And Slump is unable to do anything about it. Ryan ends up taking himself out. Ferocious to Shaft. Shaft, he tried to track down Treedroid, was successful in doing so. Ferocious to Shaft. Shaft in the mix. Ferocious back to Shaft. And Shaft is out. Chris to DT. DT to Chris, and Chris is out. DT to Real Gamer. Real Gamer back to DT. DT unable to pass it back to the champion, and the Sharks further extend their lead to 4-2. DT, first player out. Got Slump from Shaft, and Shaft is taken out in the mix. Slump, 2. Let's see, going onto the corner, giving it to Ferocious. Now between Ryan and Ferocious, and Chris ends up getting the blunt. Unsuccessful play by the Sharks. Slump to Ryan. Ryan to Fantana, and Fantana wants Ryan out of here and is successful in doing so. Real Gamer. Trees, can he track down Real? Real Gamer going to track down, hawk him down, and Treedroid gave up. He knew that he had no chance against the World Cup champion. Real Gamer from Yuri. Real Gamer has timing, holds. Real Gamer sacked his own teammates, miscalculated his pass. Yuri to Ferocious. Ferocious back to Yuri. Yuri to Ferocious, and Ferocious is out. Yuri to Slump. Yuri needs to pass it and will be unsuccessful. Sharks take another win. Now going strong and deep into round number 8. Slump to Yuri. Yuri back to Slump. And Slump gave it to Yuri. Classic time bomb right there. The game of the times. Slump to Ryan. Ryan, unable to pass it back to Slump, had no one else to give it to, and will instead send himself back to the lobby. Chris, going for DT. Slump, can he track down DT? Successful in doing so. Real Gamer to Chris. And the champion wants nothing to do with it. Gave it to Tree Droid, who then passed it to Chris. Unsuccessful run by the Sharks. Ferocious outruns that. Slump and Shaft now the mix. We're isolated. Can Slump ISO Shaft, and he's successful in doing so. Ferocious now with the bomb. Got rid of it. Slump has the timing. Gives it to Tree Droid. And Tree is out. And Sharks win once again. Ryan to Slump. Slump back to Ryan. And Tree Droid is taken out in that mix. Ryan, next player out, hasn't been a proactive player thus far. Hasn't made any notable plays. However, he might be able to come back. Shaft is out. Now you have Yuri going up against Slump. Yuri has struggled so far immensely. Going for Slump with 13 KOs and takes out Slump successfully. Well, the Titans have a chance to get some points on the board. Yuri, can he give it to the champion? Unsuccessful in doing so, and now it is a 4-on-1. DT needs to make some big moves here if he wants to keep his team in the mix. Unable to do so. (7-2) for the Sharks. Ferocious going for Slump. Slump to Shaft. Shaft had no one else to give it to. Real Gamer. What did Real Gamer do there? Real Gamer, that was the sell of a lifetime. He was in Tree Droid, and he failed to give it. Blue Clouds, take it out next. DT with the bomb now. Slump to DT. DT ends up giving it to Slump. Unsuccessful sandwich by the Sharks. DT popping off for his team, looking to keep them in it. Gives it to Chris. Chris, DT legs at the worst possible time, and Chris was sure to take advantage of it. Ferocious to Tree Droid. Tree Droid has timing, and Chris is taken out in that scruffle. Ferocious to Tree Droid. Ferocious to Tree. Tree Droid looking to bark, and Tree has no timing on Ferocious. It is now Yuri Lover with only 5 KOs, who kills himself. Had 0 tracking on that play, giving the Sharks another win in the OTA playoffs. Shaft, can he give it to Fantana? He's unsuccessful in doing so. Malik, thank you for the gifts. Ryan from Slump. Slump has timing on Ryan, and Ryan shouldn't have been there. He should have ran. However, Ryan seems to be struggling today and needs to get back into his game if he wants to give his team a chance of being competitive in these playoffs. Chris to Slump. Slump to DT. DT has timing. No, Slump has timing now, and DT sacked his own teammate. Slump to Yuri. Slump needs to give it to Yuri, and Yuri has no idea what he's doing. That is not an OTA player. There is no way Yuri is playing the worst game of his life in the playoffs. 9-2 Sharks. Ryan from Ferocious. Slump to Ryan. Ryan has no one to give it to. Slump to Shaft. Tracks him down like a hawk. Yuri is out. Slump to DT. And Tree Droid is out. Slump has no one to give it to. Tried to give it to DT through the wall. Unsuccessful in doing so. DT 4-on-1. Can he make it happen? Looking unlikely. DT to Real Gamer. And DT is out. We're at game point for the Sharks. Ryan is out. DT to Chris. Slump to DT. DT is outrunning Slump. Slump is back to the lobby. Tree Droid from Ferocious and Trees is out. DT to Ferocious. Very to Ferocious. Non-successful. Looking very good dire for the Titans, who take out Shaft and take the first set. The Sharks spank the Titans. It was tied 2-2, and the Sharks took control from there. The Titans will switch servers. We will be going to set number 2, where the Titans must win if they want to have a fighting chance in this game. Please allow us a moment to switch servers. All right, we'll now be joining a new server. We're starting real quick in round number 1. All right, let me just reset the score. All right, DT taking out the slump. Slump to Yuri. Yuri tracks down Slump. Slump to bomb now to Yuri. Yuri, can he do a last minute track? Yuri is lost and tried to sack his own teammate. However, I didn't think that would be, I don't think that's the best decision for Yuri, given how he's playing today. Slump to Tree Droid. Tree Droid back to Slump, and Slump is out. Tree Droid to Q1. Chris to Tree Droid is out. Shaft to Ray. Ray back to Shaft. Shaft, can he give it to Ray? Ray to no one. And Shaft was successful in outrunning Ray. Now you have, well, they're on the same team though. What am I saying? Chris takes out, well, I don't even know what happened. That was a win. For who? That was a win for the Sharks. Clip review. There will be a review on the play. No penalty, no null called. Real Gamer starts off to bomb, passes it to Slump. DT tried to stay on Real Gamer's tail, unsuccessful, but he did take out Slump without any issue. Hey Nathan, you want to come and commentate? Oh, he's not in my DMs. Okay, well, Shaft to Ray. Shaft gives it to Ray, and then takes out Chris. Successful play by the Titans. Really smart stuff. Real Gamer to True Droid. And Real Gamer, the champion, is out on his own servers. Yuri to Fantana, and Fantana is out of here. Yuri, can he give it to Ray? And Yuri is out. True Droid is out next. You have Ray to Shaft. Ray back to Shaft, and Shaft is out. And it's a one-on-one to see who wins it. DT has timing, is a stronger player. What Ray sells. Ray sold that round. Ray absolutely sold that round. What a choke by Ray. Fantana to Ryan. Ryan through the wall. Phase. And Chris is out. Real Gamer to Yuri, and Real Gamer takes out the Titans, gets out and gets his revenge. Finally, Real Gamer looking to pop off. Slump to Ryan. Ryan to Real Gamer. And Ryan is out. No, sorry, I don't know who that was. That was a Real Gamer. That was someone, I think that was, I don't know who. Fantana is out next. Ryan to Ray. Ryan takes out Ray. Tree Droid tried to come in to help, but he didn't need the help. Ryan to Real Gamer, the World Cup champion, up against Ryan. Who will win? Tree Droid tried to get a chin going. However, he was sacked instead. You got Ryan. Real Gamer, the champion, outruns, outwindows, is tracked. Titans win. Round number 3. Tridroid to Ryan. Tridroid to Ryan, and Ryan is out. Ray to Yuri. Yuri is out. Yuri to Ray. Yuri to Ray. And Chris. Yuri gets the short end of the stick, and Yuri is gonzo. Ray trying to get through the wall. Ray unable to give it to Shaft. Chris saw it. However, he decided not to get involved. Probably the smartest decision he can make in that scenario. DT is out next. And the Titans look to tie it back up once again. Shaft to Fantana. Fantana to Shaft. And the Sharks take the dub. We're tied. 2-2 in set number 2. 2-2-2. 2-2-2. We got Ray to Yuri. Yuri to Ray. And Ray is out. Slump to Chris. Chris unable to give it to Shaft. Blue Clouds to Fantana. Titans being much more competitive in the second set. However, the score is still very close. The champion is tracked. Slump is out, and the Titans reclaim the lead. 3-2. Leg warning issued to Fantana. Ryan to Ray. Ray, can he pass it? Takes out Tree Droid. No issue at all. Ray to DT. DT is out. Yuri to Ferocious. Ferocious, 0 KO so far. And takes out Ray instead. Yuri to Chris. Yuri to Blue Clouds, and Blue Clouds is out. Thank you, Soul. Much appreciated. Ferocious to Yuri. Ferocious outruns it, and Yuri gets taken out. Now it's in favor of the Sharks, who look to tie it up once again. Shaft Grill Gamer and Shaft is tracked by the champion. We are tied 3-3. It's low-key entertaining. Thank you. But anyone can play in this easily. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. That is very not true. Chris to DT, and DT's out. Standing there, AFK when it matters most. Going AFK in the playoffs is not what your team wants you to do. Ferocious is out. Yuri to Ray. Ray to Yuri. Yuri tracks back. However, Chris is in the mix and takes himself out. No, Chris took Yuri out. Chris, such a pivotal player. Such a smart player. Any team would be lucky to have him. Shaft, Chris. Chris to Shaft. Tracked him down very easily. Now it's Tree Droid. To Ray. Ray back to Tree Droid. And Ray gets a short end of stick. Wow. Wow. Slump to Tree Droid. Tree Droid in the mix. Slump to Tree Droid, and Tree Droid is out. Slump wins. Now the Sharks have the lead. Yuri is out. Ferocious to Ryan. Ryan has timing. Ferocious needs to do something. Chris got in the mix and took out Ryan. What a smart play by Chris. Chris, truly a generational player for the Sharks. DT is out via Ferocious. The champion versus Shaft. And Ferocious is now out. Shaft from Ray. No, never mind. Ray selling the bag once again. Ray in the chat saying he's trash. I'm inclined to agree, even though I'm supposed to be neutral in these matters. Chris, the GOAT so far with the match, tracks down Tree Droid. Now you have Shaft going for Chris. Chris from Shaft and unable to track back. Now it's up to the champion to give his team a further lead. Will the Titans tie it up, or will the Sharks extend the lead? And the Sharks will extend. 5-3, Sharks. Ray, first player out via DT. Ferocious, first player out. Slump to Yuri, unsuccessful. Yuri to Ryan. Ryan is out. Yuri to Chris. Chris, can he track it back to Yuri? And he takes out Tree Droid instead. His own teammate. Chris to Yuri. With the champion now. Through the wall. Yuri to Chris, and Chris is out. DT to the champion. Champion of the high bomb. Low bomb. Tracks flawlessly. Real Gamer from Yuri. Real Gamer, can he track it? Yes, he does. Now it is a rematch. Real Gamer versus Shaft. Real Gamer, he's far, far away. And the Titans come back within one. We are now in round number 10. Titans fighting to send this game to set 3. Ray is out. Tree Droid is out. Yuri is gone next. Ferocious with the bomb. To Shaft, and Shaft tracks back. It is another rematch. Real Gamer versus Shaft for round number 3. Who will win? The series is tied. However, Real Gamer will take the win. 6-4. Ryan is out. Chris to Shaft. No, Chris to no one. Chris is out. He was playing like a 5-star player earlier. Actually, 6-star player. But now he's playing like a 1-star player. What happened? Slump outruns the Titans player. DT tried getting in for a chain. Shaft in the mix. Now you have Yuri. To Real Gamer. Nope. To Yuri. Yuri has a bomb. Ray should have outran that. Ray is sent back to the lobby. Playing his worst time bomb possible in the playoffs. DT to Slump. Slump is out. Real Gamer is taken out. Oh yeah, time bomb is serious, buddy. Get ready to learn time bomb, buddy. Yuri to Ferocious. Ferocious is tracked in the Titans. Still look to be competitive and still look to come back. I've seen 1v5s not be commentated because Spy's hyperfixating on a random chem attempt. Buddy, there's been 0 successful 1v5s. DT taking out Chris. Ray to DT. Ray to DT. DT, will he be able to track back? No. Real Gamer taking out Blue Clouds. Now you have Fantana going up against Tree Droid. Tree Droid to Fantana. Fantana needs to give it, and Fantana ends up taking out Tree Droid. Yuri getting involved in the mix now. We're going back and forth between him and Fantana. Who's going to win? And Fantana takes the win. Real Gamer to his own teammate. Real Gamer exits the zone. ISOs. Isolation. Never mind. Real Gamer is taken out via DT. Terrible positioning by Real Gamer. Fantana to DT. DT looks to be a pivotal player. Not anymore though. It is now Shaft being the last player remaining. However, it is not Real Gamer who will be taking the 1v1. It'll be Fantana, and Fantana wins. 7-5. Shaft ends up taking out Fantana this time. However, it's not for the win. It's just for the first player out in round number 13. Shaft with the bomb to Chris. Chris tried passing back to Real Gamer, who would have then changed it to Fantana, who would have then changed it to Shaft. But that was unsuccessful. I should really talk slower. Ray, next player out. No surprise there. Probably the worst player of this match so far. Ryan, next player out. Now you have Slump to Yuri. Slump needs to give it to Yuri and is successful in doing so. Trey Droids tried to help out his own teammate, but he was unsuccessful in doing so. Slump to DT. Successful. Hawked out. Now you have Slump. Needs to give it to Tree Droid. Tree Droid up against the glass, trying to kiss the one and only Spy 388. However, the glass was too thick. but now he has the option to do so since he's in the lobby. Slump is out by Shaft, and we have another 1v1. Real Gamer versus Shaft for the win. And Shaft wins it. Six, 7. Sorry, I just had to say it. DT to Slump. DT is out. Ryan to Ray. Ray is sacking his own teammate. I'm not sure if that's the best decision that he could have made given the scenario and given how Ray was playing. Real Gamer taking out Yuri. Yuri's also playing like trash. Are those two liabilities for their own teams? Liabilities cannot be afforded in the playoffs. Real Gamer to Slump. Tried giving it to Ryan. Unsuccessful in doing so. Shaft, Fantana. Fantana stays alive. Taking out Yuri. Fantana to Shaft. Fantana to Shaft, unsuccessful. Real Gamer's still in it, and we're likely to see another 1v1 occur between Shaft and Real Gamer. Real Gamer going for Tree Droid. Before we get the classic one-on-one we've been seeing so many times in this set. Really, never mind. Real Gamer is tracked, and we are tied, ladies and gentlemen. Ray, AFK at the worst time possible. You have Chris going for Ryan. And Chris tracks it down. Real Gamer is out. Ryan to Slump. Slump tracks it down to Ryan. Sharks look to get the lead back. They want to win, and they do not want to send us to set number 3. Ryan to Yuri. Yuri back to Ryan. Ryan flicks it over to Yuri, but then took out his own team. Took out Real Gamer. Real Gamer back to the lobby. Now you have Slump and Tree Droid. Tree Droid in the middle of nowhere. It is now up to Shaft to try and make a clutch. Slump in the mix. 3-on-1 for him. Shaft with a bomb. Has timing though, and Titans, for the first time, has taken back the lead. Not for the first time, my apologies. The commentator, I am Johnny P. What about it? Chris is out. Ferocious to Ryan. Real Gamer. We want Toke. I don't know who Toke is. Who's that? I'm not sure who that is. Slump is out. I have no idea who that is. Anyways, Yuri to Ferocious. Yuri back to Real Gamer, and Real Gamer is sent back to the lobby. Fantana to Yuri. Fantana to Yuri. And Yuri is out. Titans looking to close it off. Sharks need to make something happen. DT has timing, and the Titans take a 2-point lead. It is 9-7. The Sharks need to lock in, man. We might actually see this go to overtime too. DT to Slump, and DT is out. Slump to Ryan. Ryan, Slump, and Ryan is taken out of the mix. Sharks look to regroup as they are on the verge of losing this set. Slump to Yuri. Yuri is back to the lobby. Tree Droid to Slump. Tree Droid to Slump, and Slump taking out Tree Droid. It is getting intense, ladies and gentlemen. Slump, can he give it to Shaft? No! Chris tried to help, but he simply didn't have timing. It is a 5-on-1 for Shaft. He took out the first player in Slump. However, Fantana taking out Real Gamer. That is 2 players down for Shaft. No, sorry, who was that? That was Chris who was out. Sorry. Terrible commentating on my end. Fantana is out next. Can Shaft clutch up the 5v1 to send his team to game point? Shaft unable to clutch it up. 9-8 for the Titans. We are so close. Anything can happen. It's anyone's game. One wrong move, one wrong turn, one wrong pass, and your team could potentially be eliminated or down in the playoffs. Shaft taking out Ryan. Tried to get a chain going on the Sharks, on Fantana. They were unsuccessful in doing so. Ferocious to Yuri. Yuri is out. Real Gamer to DT. DT to Real Gamer. DT has timing, and Real Gamer is out. Tried to sack Chris. However, they were unsuccessful in doing so. Fantana to Shaft. Shaft needs to make something happen. Sacks his own teammate and Trees instead. Probably the smartest choice, given how good and how godly, Shaft has been in this set. Shaft is out though. It is now up to DT to clutch it up. DT to Ferocious. DT is out. And we are tied back, 9-9. It is anyone's game. What a game. What a series this can be. 9-9. Ryan is out. Fantana to Chris. Chris needs to give it to Yuri, and Yuri is down. Yuri the pylon. He needs to start doing something. He needs to help his team out. Shaft to Chris. Chris unable to give it back. Real Gamer with the bomb. Gives it to Slump. Tree Droid now has it. Trees needs to track back. Trees out. DT now has the bomb. Shaft is also in it. However, Real Gamer, the World Cup champion, is also looking for blood. Ferocious is out. Real Gamer to DT. DT to Real Gamer. And Real Gamer sacks Slump instead. Real Gamer and Fantana up against Shaft and DT. Arguably, the 4 best players in the server are in this round. Right over here. DT is out. It is now up to Shaft to try and make magic happen. Takes out Fantana, who then tried to give it to Real Gamer. However, Real Gamer didn't have enough time. It is now Fantana and Shaft. First to 10 points. Who will send their team to game point? Oh my goodness. 10-9. Game point for the Titans. A must-win round for the Sharks. Titans, 1 win away from taking the second set. Chris has no one to give it to. Sharks selling so many people's Carly. Sharks the first seed. They're on the verge of losing the second set. Real Gamer to Ryan. Ryan to Real Gamer. Must pass. Real Gamer takes out Ryan. Real Gamer to Yuri. Yuri. Oh no. Real Gamer is out. Zero support from his team. Fantana to Yuri. And Chris goes down. No. No. Not looking good. Fantana is out. And the Titans win. 9-11. We are going to set 3. Ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Playoff Time Bomb. Sharks will be switching servers once again. Stand by because we will be conducting a server switch. It all comes down to set number 3. We're on Los Angeles, California servers. You guys will be getting another set of Time Bomb. We're now starting. Shaft to Slump. Slump back to Shaft. Shaft's out. What's wrong with my mic? Yuri, next player out. Sorry, fellas, just give me 1 second. Sharks taking round number 1. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Titans win number 2. We'll be getting some commentation going forward by the one and only Johnny P. You got Shaft getting tracked down. Titans still looking to make this a competitive game. Slump to Ryan. Ryan unable to pass to anyone. I don't know who that is. What the hell? Slump is out. Zora to Ferocious, and Zora is out of here. Finally getting some playtime. DT to Ferocious. Ferocious to DT, and DT wins it. Sorry, no, DT was taken out. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Ferocious wins it. 2-1 for the Sharks. Shaft's out. Going deep to round number 5. Slump is taken out first. Yeah, Ferocious. With Real Gamer going to try and take out Shaft, it seems like. Will they have the time to do so? I don't think so. Real Gamer is sacked by Chris. Chris from Shaft. Shaft, can he take out... Was there a Wolby? Well, I don't even know if there will be a leg warning on that play. Maybe that was server leg. Chris to Yuri. And Fantana is taken out as a result of what just happened there. Oh, the round was nulled. I mean, the round counter says we're on round number 6. I think that should be fixed. And it was fixed indeed. Slump. Taking out Shaft. Ryan tried to track down Slump. Unsuccessful in doing so. Chris, next player out. Real Gamer with the bomb. You're going for Slump. Slump, back to Real Gamer. Real Gamer to Yuri, and Slump is taken out in that mix. It is a 2-on-2. Yuri, you're needing to make some magic happen. Needing to be useful. Will he be useful? No, he won't. Titans take round number 5. Ferocious to Ryan. Ferocious to Fantana. Fantana is taken out. Slump's taken out of that mix. Shaft with the bomb. Going for Ferocious. Ferocious and Yuri. Yuri now holds the bomb. Can he pass it to anyone? And no. Ferocious goes, sorry, Yuri goes down. Oh yeah, Ferocious and Shaft. Shaft going to try to give it to Real Gamer, and he is successful in doing that. DT to Chris. Chris is out. Ferocious to Blue Clouds, and Blue Clouds is out of here. Ferocious to DT. And Trade Droid is out. Ferocious to Shaft. Ferocious back to Shaft. And Ferocious is out. No, Ferocious won it. So, the Sharks get the lead. 4-2. And Yuri and the Titans bring it back within 1. Yeah, sword fellas. I just had something on the side pop up in relation to a. Yeah, you know, this is why I need like actual staff members to commentate and stuff. Where are the servers? Oh boy. DT and Slump. Slump and DT. Who will win it? DT to Slump and Slump back to DT. Sharks extend the lead once again, and I have to send out a message once. I'll give Bob a friendly reminder that he has a Elevate match that he should be refereeing right now. And he dipped. I know Bob wanted to see this close out, but you know, we're on a tight schedule here. Yeah, but that won't be streamed unless Shots might stream it. Real Gamer taking out Ryan. Real Gamer to Chris. Chris to Shaft. Shaft outruns the chain attempt. Smart play on his end. Shaft playing smart. Playing pass, but now needs to go aggro. DT, can he pass to Fantana? Fantana ankles him. Real Gamer to Shaft. Real Gamer to Shaft, and Shaft is out. It is now 6-3 for the Sharks. Shaft wins it again, and now it is 6-4. Leg warning issued to Chris. Oh, the game was stopped. I wonder why. Zora ends up taking out one of the players. That might have been Real Gamer. No, Real Gamer's still alive. I think that was Chris that was out. Yeah. Fantana out next. A much closer round. This definitely isn't an 11-2 Sharks domination win that we first saw. No idea what the Sharks are doing, man. I really don't know. Ferocious to DT. DT is out next. Got Ryan going for Ferocious. Ryan is out. Ferocious to Yuri. Ferocious to Shaft. Ferocious to Shaft, and Shaft is out. Sharks take the win here. Oh, it's 7-5. No. 7-4. Fantana. Unable to track to anyone. Ferocious is out. Real Gamer to Shaft. Shaft to Zora. Zora to Real Gamer. Real Gamer is Gonzo. What a chain attempt. What a chain play. DT. Unable to pass it over to Slump. Shaft to Slump. Slump is out, and the Titans take the dub here and make the score 7-5. All right, let's start. Let's get going. Round number 13. Lucky number 13. Who will win it? Fantana to DT. DT back to Fantana. Fantana taking out DT successfully. Fantana to Yuri. Yuri to Slump. Fantana is taken out. Real Gamer to Shaft. Shaft to Real Gamer. Real Gamer to Slump. Shaft is out. And Chris is on next. Yuri to Ryan. Ryan gets sacked, and it is now Yuri versus Real Gamer. Yuri is actually the better player in this scenario. Real Gamer, can he make something happen? Yes, he does. Sharks are up. 8-5. 8-5. Titans need to lock in if they want to have a chance this series. They worked so hard to send it to the third set. Kevin make magic happen. Shaft with the bomb, going for Ferocious. Ferocious away from Shaft. Passes it to Chris via Zora. What a chain play by the Titans. Shaft and Fantana. Fantana, they're ISO'd. Fantana and Shaft. Can Fantana ISO Shaft? No. DT to Ferocious. Middle of the court, now outside. Ferocious goes down. DT to Real Gamer, and the champion is sent back to the lobby. Titans. Bring it within 2. No timeouts called so far. Where's the beauty? I know, man. I'm doing like 12 different things at once. It's ridiculous. Zora to Real Gamer. Zora is out. One-on-one. Real Gamer and Blue Clouds. Will the Sharks extend their lead? I don't think so. No, Real Gamer. A big mistake from Real Gamer. Quickly corrects it. Sharks are up. 9-6. Slump out. Um, Chef. DT to Chris, and Chris is out. Now you got Real Gamer going for DT. Real Gamer revived Fantana, sacked his own teammate. DT needs to win if he wants to keep his team in it. And DT's out. And it is game point for the Sharks. Can the Sharks close it off? Or will the Titans win 4 straight? The Titans, clearly a much weaker team. Yuri takes out Fantana. DT to Ferocious. Ferocious taking out DT. Such an instrumental player. Chef, the last hope. If Chef goes down, they are cooked. Slump, unable to track back to Chef. Some light for the Titans. Ferocious with the bomb. Ferocious going for Ryan. Ryan from Ferocious, and Ryan is tracked. Ferocious to Chef. Chef needs to give it to Real Gamer, and he is successful in doing so. 3-on-2 for the Titans. Yuri to Ferocious. Ferocious tracks in, and now it's a 2-on-2. It's anyone's game now. Ferocious tracks it to Zora. Not good for the Titans. Chef may very well be cooked. And Chef is cooked. That is the game. Sharks lead the series 1-0. Sharks win, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow for game number 2, where the Sharks can eliminate the Titans and go on to the OTA Grand Finals. Okay, bye.